Good morning everyone, welcome to another daily vlog. Public safety announcement for all of the new viewers. Please don't text and drive, don't get distracted whilst driving. Switch off the display of your camera if you want to film yourself in your car. Treat it as if you were talking on a speakerphone. Don't get distracted, drive safe. Alright, today's vlog is all about the shooting with the personal trainer that I had a couple of days ago. Maybe you have seen the vlog of the behind the scenes 2 days ago where I kind of shared the whole experience, and I now have finished editing this video, and I will show it right now and then we kind of will talk about it.
Ja, Sport macht mir deswegen Spaß, weil ich dort einfach alles rauslassen kann, weil ich danach immer besser fühle als vorher. Es muss nicht jedes Mal das 120.000-prozentige Workout sein oder ähnliches. Es ist einfach schön, meinen Körper zu spüren. Das macht mir Spaß. Ich fühle mich auch mit über 40 damit sehr, sehr fit und das auch auf verschiedenen Ebenen. Also körperlich, geistig und gerne auch seelisch. Sport ist für mich persönlich ist es ein wichtiger Katalysator auch, um mit Dingen umzugehen, die mich ansonsten halt belasten. Sei es jetzt Stress, was auch immer so von außen auf mich einströmt. Ich meine, alles, was irgendwie in uns ist, das muss ja irgendwo hin. Und es ist absolut menschlich und natürlich, dass wir uns dafür halt auch ein Ventil suchen. Die größte Herausforderung, glaube ich, für die Leute, Sport zu betreiben, liegt darin, dass sie oft überhaupt keine Idee haben, wie sie anfangen. Es ist ja nicht so, dass es nicht Wissen gäbe, welches sehr, sehr schnell verfügbar ist. Es ist sogar erfahrungsgemäß das Überangebot an Wissen. Und ich will nicht sagen, dass es oft falsch ist, sondern dass es einfach nicht spezifisch genug ist. Und das irritiert einige Leute auch. Und da komme ich als Personal Trainer ins Spiel und gebe halt auch diese Struktur, gebe den individuellen Rahmen. Und das ist auch das, was ich sage, ich hole die Leute dort ab. Und für einige ist es dann natürlich auch der Schweinehund und dieser gewisse Arschtritt. Und das ist auch das, was ich gerne mitgebe, einen gewissen Arschtritt in dem Maß, welches halt angemessen ist für die jeweiligen Leute. Manche brauchen ein bisschen mehr, manche ein bisschen weniger. Und es ist ja auch situativ, tagesformabhängig. Jeder Tag ist anders und da ist halt auch das Problem für einige Leute, dass sie sagen, okay, ich kriege mich heute nicht motiviert, Trainer, hau noch mal ordentlich rein. Und das ist halt dann mein Job, den Arschtritt zu geben oder auch mal die Bremse zu sein, je nachdem, wer was halt braucht. Und genau dieses Individuelle wesentlich effizienter ist, als wenn du Schema erfährst. Und das finde ich total angenehm.
Alright, so that was the small little film that I made for the personal trainer. Just to kind of bring you up to speed, if you haven't watched any of my previous vlogs, I am currently in the process of creating a side hustle. I am a professional film editor in the advertising world. That is basically how I earn my money, how I pay my rent. And I have been doing this for over 15 years and I have been in the film industry for over 20 years. However, economy isn't that great at the moment. We all are struggling a little bit with the economy, and in the film industry there are also a lot of changes, and sometimes you have some downtimes, like for example in the summer in the advertising world, especially here in Europe, people are either on vacation or they are on the Cannes Film Festival, so there aren't a lot of jobs going on during the summer month. So whenever there is downtime, you obviously have the opportunity to create some other work. On one side, I have my YouTube project. I have a main channel where I do a lot of bag reviews and travel related content that, to my eyes, YouTube is my passion project. I love that. And I like creating videos. But with my skills of editing and being in the advertising world and knowing how to shoot videos and film, many years ago I also did a lot of behind the scenes videos, and I dabbled also being a director. I did 2 or 3 paid projects as a director. So I have the skills, but I've never really utilized, or I haven't utilized them in a paid capacity in a while. So my train of thought was to utilize those skills as a videographer, but not in the advertising world, but rather with direct clients. For example, creating content for a restaurant, creating content like in this case for a personal trainer. Wow, there was a truck that almost crashed into the car in front of me. That was a close call. So again, please stay safe when you are in the car. Don't get distracted. That truck obviously was distracted. So yeah, I want to create content for smaller brands, smaller clients, so that it doesn't interrupt with my advertising business. Because we humans, we like to think in categories, although we don't like to admit it. And in the advertising world or in the film industry, people like to kind of put you in the box, not necessarily to kind of put you down, but more in terms of knowing how they can utilize you. If they know, okay, that person is an editor, okay, I can hire that person as an editor. Or if that is a director, they know, okay, if I need a director, I can call that person. If they don't if they don't know how to place you in what categories, sometimes in their brain they get confused, and when they need a professional, they sometimes don't know who to call because they didn't put you into that category. It's a shame, but that's just the reality of it. And therefore, I don't want to kind of water down my space by confusing some people, and they kind of start thinking, oh, okay, so Bo is doing videography now. That means he's not editing anymore. And I kind of want to avoid that thought process. Therefore, I am targeting these smaller brands, these direct clients like shops, influencers, or like in this case, personal trainers. And right now I'm doing a lot of free work in order to be able to create a portfolio of videos that are catered to those clients that I want to target. But more importantly, I want to kind of see what do I need, how am I working in a new environment. Because don't forget, I know how to work a camera, I know how to make films. I have been doing this for YouTube for many years, but that is always for me personally, in my own style, in my niche. Now in this case, I have been in the gym. That is something totally new to me. Being around people that do not want to be disturbed. And so not only with this free work, I kind of get a grasp on what I can do or how this workflow works, but also I can see, is my equipment suitable enough for this use case? How many batteries do I need? How well does the rig work? Does the camera overheat and stuff like that? Then after I've edited this project, now I have a time frame. I know how fast I am, but with these types of projects, it is good to kind of clarify for myself, is my estimation of how much work I need correct? In this case, it was correct. I thought, okay, I probably need a day to edit this, and I actually was able to edit this in a day. Probably if I want to be sure if I get a client, I will rather kind of plan out 2 days of editing. So in this case, I needed 3 hours of shooting, 1 day of editing. And if I get a client like this in the future, I will kind of plan for, again, 3 hours shooting and 2 days of editing. With this time frame, I now have the some clues about how much I could charge. Obviously, I want to be competitive. I want to have a competitive price point because especially in this niche of smaller clients, there is often the argument, A, that they don't have a media budget to kind of pay for content, and B, there is always this kind of, oh, I have a nephew or I have a son or a daughter who has an iPhone. He or she could just film that. Why should I pay that much? So there is the argument, yes, what I create is much better and will yield in much more views and a better outcome, but people don't have the budget. So I want to stay as competitive as possible and have the price point as low as I can. But I obviously need to make sure that I don't undercharge and then suddenly I am paying on top of whatever I'm charging. That is the biggest mistake that a lot of new and smaller and younger creators are doing. They undercharge and then suddenly they pay on top of the work that they are doing. For example, they pay for the equipment that they have bought, but more importantly the time and like music rights and stuff like that. That is something that you need to account for, or energy bills. That is something people like to forget. They say, oh, I'm paying my energy bills anyway, so I don't need to charge it on top of the client, and that is a huge mistake. So with all of these new knowledge that I know now, how much time I needed to make this video, how much effort I needed, I now can calculate a proper rate for potential future clients. I say I can calculate it, but I haven't done it yet. So I kind of need to think about that, and I still don't know yet what I want to charge. However, I can tell you that all of the equipment that I have has been working extremely well. I only needed 2 batteries for my camera. The camera didn't overheat. I am utilizing a consumer camera, the Fuji X-M5 with the kit lens, and I feel like what I gotten out of this shooting day looks amazing, all considered that this is a consumer camera. And I don't need to buy a new one. If I would need to buy a new one, it would only be for reliability, meaning a professional camera would give me a dual card slot and making sure that I would record backups. It would have a little bit better batteries that would hold up a little bit longer. There would be an internal cooling fan and stuff like that. So it only would be for security and creature comforts. But I don't need it. And I also could invest in a new lens that would be a little bit better, but as I personally have judged from what I've gotten out of it, the kit lens is actually good enough. And I know that I can be very stealthy. The client that I had was actually kind of complimenting me for being a fly on the wall. No one was actually noticing me. No one was kind of annoyed by me. I was really stealthy, and having a smaller camera like the X-M5, even though I rigged it up and with the kit lens that is very tiny, people actually didn't notice me holding the camera. I was able to kind of cradle it in my arms and people didn't notice that I was filming. So that is a huge plus. So I just know I am able to do these kind of jobs for personal trainers inside a fully packed out gym and I don't need any light equipment. The only thing that I probably will need to buy is a shotgun mic. I have a shotgun mic, but it is way too big and it kind of pokes into frame if I put it on top of the rig. So I need to buy a shotgun mic. That's the only thing that I will need to buy. That being said, the internal mics, when I denoised the audio, did work quite well, and I was actually surprised by it. So long story short, I can highly recommend to do these types of free work just to kind of test out your gear, get some experience before actually charging clients to pay for your work. But I understand that not all of you are doing this kind of work in a paid capacity yet. I always recommend to start YouTube, and as you can tell from hopefully my journey, I've been doing YouTube regularly for many years on my main channel, and now I've been doing this for 134 something episodes daily on this channel. And doing all of these reps will definitely improve how you shoot. And there is a chance, it is hard work, but there is a chance. As soon as you have done YouTube long enough, there is the potential for you to also do this in a paid capacity. Maybe not those big advertising jobs, but maybe content for smaller brands, doing some video, doing some reels and stuff like that. So even though you start YouTube as a passion project, and I highly advise, do YouTube for yourself, not for someone else, not to earn money. However, there is a chance that you could utilize your YouTube expertise, your YouTube skills for paid jobs in the future. And I'm sorry for all of the beeping. There are a lot of crashes here. I have a little device that warns me if there is a crash in front of me, a hazard, and it always warns me. And there were a lot of hazards right now on the highway. There was a traffic jam, so it beeps there and here as well. So yeah, don't mind the beeping. So yeah, as I said, I always recommend start YouTube, put in the reps, practice. You will get better, but start YouTube for yourself, because A, it's a lot of fun, B, you learn so much speaking in front of the camera, which then again can be speaking in front of people. You will get better at that, you will get better at filming, and then potentially you could actually use this, if you want, as something to earn money or to help other people, because there will potentially be some people around you who say, oh, I want to start as well, can you help me out? And then you can help, and it is so much fun to kind of teach or help other people to make stuff. So yeah, I hope this was a little bit inspiring and you can take something out of it. If you have any questions, comment below. If you want to see the video about the behind the scenes of that shoot with a personal trainer, check out the video up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video on here. Don't forget to like, hype, and help me to get to 2,000 subscribers by clicking the button up here. And then I will see you in the video tomorrow. Drive safe, and thank you very much.